All right, shall we begin? Well, let's get started. So make a little bit of space for yourself and we'll begin knocking on the door of life. Twisting, turning, tapping here. And as always, if you're uh, feeling tired or if you're having some pain, you can do any part of the class seated. So it's good to have a chair and you can do pretty much anything the same seated. Even like lower body exercise, like if we're moving our legs around, you can kind of shift around in your chair. So it's best if you have a chair that doesn't have arms on it, but anytime that's available to you. And if you want to also do Qigong on the floor, you can follow my cat, and she's going to be doing everything with the floor version. So just kidding. We won't do that today. That would be fun, though, one day, do a little cat Qigong. Qigong does get a lot of inspiration from animals. You'll hear tiger forms and monkey form and deer form and crane and turtle and all this. So we're trying to emulate nature, trying to emulate natural beings and natural forces. Qigong is all about tapping into that life force, tapping into that instinct, that energy that's natural, that's flowing all around us all the time. All right, let's get through our joints. And a lot of our warm-ups in Qigong are going to be rotational movements. So link up your fingers like this, pin the thumbs, and then roll forward and rotate. So your body, the joints in particular, really thrive with rotation. There's a phrase, the motion is the lotion. So when you rotate the joint, you lubricate it, make it smoother. You also flush out cellular waste. You bring in nutrients. So you're feeding the body as well. And then switch sides. So you switch the bottom pinky, relace the fingers, other thumb on top, and you roll back. This one can be a little tricky. You think about it like you're polishing a ball. You're going around a sphere, a circle. As you're standing, you want to keep a little bend in your knees if you can, and the shoulders stay nice and relaxed. All right, give it a shake and release. Let's go through your elbow joints, feet wide, bend the knees, and rotate down, out. You brush the knuckles together at the midpoint, and you squeeze and you stretch outwards. Stretch this inner elbow here. Nice, shoulders stay relaxed. Nice deep breathing. And next, fingertips to collarbones, open and rotate like this. This is for the shoulders, the upper back. Do you ever find yourself like by the end of the day, your body is getting more hunched and more like that? Just about everything we do moves us in that direction, right? Driving, eating, watching something, typing. Even most activities happen in front of us, so our hands get in front and the chest gets tight and the back gets weak, and so this happens. So this movement here is the counter pose. You're opening the chest, strengthening the back, lifting the spine. This will help with breathing too. You're gonna feel that you get a little more space in your breath after you open this area up. So there's certain exercises that are kind of like super exercises that if you only could do a half dozen or so, this is one I would include. Good, and release, shake it out. Hands to hips, head centered, circle your waist, rotate. So if you're doing a seated version of this, you can do it this way. Right. So I'm not sure if folks are sitting out there, but if you are, you can always ask me for a modification too. So for this, if you're doing a standing version, you want to keep your head pretty much still and your hips move around. Just takes a little pressure off your back. Reverse, other way. Feel the inner thighs, outer hips, lower back, hip flexors. all around this important midsection. Nice. All right, and another one I would add for the daily exercises, if you want to really change your body and your life, hip rotations. You can hold on to something here. You can use a walking stick or a wall or a chair, whatever. You're gonna cross, open, and rotate. And if you are doing a seated version, it's the same thing. You can do it seated, no problem. Rotate one leg externally, about 8 times or so, and then reverse. I'm not strict on the numbers because 8 times to one person is super easy and exhausting to somebody else. So focus more on the relative level of exertion. Go ahead and switch, shake that leg out. So when you're challenging your body, I really recommend, especially if you're over 60 or over 70, you don't need to go beyond 85% fatigue. You can really just stop when you get there, because if you go to 90%, 100% fatigue, you're likely to overdo it. It's very easy to overdo it. So 85% is a real safe point of relative challenge. Go back. And that number changes too, and that's nice, because if you just pick a number, you get locked into, an arbitrary number, whereas a relative number, you're paying attention, you're connecting to your body. One day your 85% might be 3, and next day it might be 13. So the number is not that important. Shake it out and release. Let's move to the knees, and standing version, you can bend down and cup the knees and rotate like this. And then seated version, you'll do the same thing, and you'll just lift the leg and you'll hover and rotate. Pretty soon you'll see that you can modify just about anything if you think of the strategy you're trying to apply, and then just find a new way of getting that. What is the purpose of the movement? There could be multiple strategies to get that same purpose accomplished. Reverse. Bathing your knee joints with synovial fluid. Gentle, low impact exercise is really good for arthritis too. One of the best things you can do for it. Go in and out. If you have severe arthritis though, you don't want to aggravate it. So relative exertion to the rescue. Backwards. We're bathing all your joints with this fluid and cushioning, cleansing, nourishing. Come back up and give it a shake. Release. Now for the ankles. This is helpful if you are wearing shoes. It's gonna be a little harder to do this. If you're barefoot or if you have socks on, it'll be a little easier, or you're gonna get more. You'll get more range of motion here. Step forward, lift the heel, and rotate. It's challenging for balance, so you may want to hold on to a staff or a chair or a wall or just something to give you a little bit of support. Lift the heel, move your whole center into the rotation. And then same thing, go backward and rotate the other way. Roll, 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 nice. And now for the tops of the feet. You definitely want to be on a carpet, or even with the carpet, it still can be uncomfortable. If it bothers your feet, use a pillow or a folded blanket or a small cat, something soft, maybe not a cat, that might not work out well. Some sort of cushion, and press the tops of your feet. Definitely have something for balance here, and roll. And go back the other way, roll the tops of your feet so that if you can see, but the feet are curled under like this. Crackle, crackle. Press and hold, take a deep breath. Long exhale out. And then give that foot a nice shake. You might already feel a difference between your 2 feet just after that ankle exercise. A little shake, and then pause and compare. Notice. Inside might feel a little more alert, alive, more active. Let's switch now. Other foot, step forward, lift the heel, and rotate. It's sometimes surprising, but I believe that at least 50% of the benefits of Qigong happen during the warm-ups. Just these simple joint rotations have such a profound benefit to the body. Go ahead and go the other way. And that's usually the part we kind of think of as like, okay, let's kind of get this over with so we can get to the fun stuff. But really, this part is a lot of the magic. Taking the body through each range of motion. Now take your foot, bring it behind you once again, and roll the tops of your feet. If it's painful, put a cushion down. Roll, roll, roll the ankles, the arch, the tops of the feet. Even the shin muscles get involved here. Backwards. The old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. So trying to use the full range of every joint will really help you use it. It will help you not lose it. Press and hold, take a deep breath. These ankle stretches are super helpful for balance too. Nice and done. Give that foot a vigorous shake. Get that blood flowing, the lymphatic fluids moving. Shake, 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 shake. And then come back to center. Pause there. Feel the feet, the body. Take a breath. You already feel a little bit more invigorated, a little more alive, a little more alert, more energy moving. That's what we want for the warm-ups. Now let's get into some full body stretches. We're going to be going up on your toes a little bit, so you may want to have a chair behind you or a wall near you just for some safety. Feet close, not touching necessarily, but close as you can. Lace the fingers, reach up high. Inhale, stretch as tall as you can, up. Up, 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 up. Reach your body. Same thing if you're seated, just do it from the seat, no problem. And now if you want a challenge here, pump your toes, go up and down, pumping your ankles, calves. This is your second heart, helping your blood circulate, helping the fluids rotate and move around the tissue here. And now lower the heels, keep the arms up if you can, twist to one side, and like a sponge, wring out all the fluids in your body. The lymphatic system is like the sewage system. It flushes out the waste. And the other way, twist. Your lymph fluids also are full of T and B cells, your immune cells, helping your immunity. And they need movement. Lymphatic fluid needs you to move it. It doesn't have a pump like the blood does. So movement is the way you move the lymph. Walking, swimming, stretching, tapping, shaking, all the stuff you can do to stay active. So good for you. Side bend, and the other side. So that's one thing there, Qigong has been around before we knew what lymph fluid was, but now they can look and see. One reason why it might be so healthy and effective is because of what it does to the lymphatic system. Shrug the shoulders and release. And this is a fun way to get the lymph nodes flowing, and lymphatic fluid is body vibration. And you just simply stand and you shake. Let the shoulders lift and drop and just feel the vibration travel down the arms. This is a great way to relieve tension and stress. Just kind of close your eyes and let it all shake out. The knees, the hips, all the joints like springs bouncing. You can swing the arms forward and back. You can swing the arms side to side. You can go over your head. Just have some fun with it and shake it all around. Some parts will feel comfortable, some uncomfortable. Shake and circulate, head to toe. This can be done seated, of course, and if you're not feeling dizzy, you can even move your head a little. Clear your brain. If you're comfortable, you can open the eyes and fold over and shake out the back, arms. I think you can just let go of some control, let go of some resistance. Find that sense of rhythm in your body. It should feel liberating and feel kind of fun, spontaneous. The vibration just start to move without thinking too much about it. Big sigh out through your mouth. The breath is the exhaust for your emotions too. So when you feel stress, pain, sad, angry, cleansing breath out through the mouth. Big sigh and let it go. Try to move your rib cage and your hips. Move in ways that feel a little awkward or a little funny. Move in ways you're not used to. Let the vibration travel every cell, every part of you. Big sigh, just do 30 more seconds, vibration, head to toe. What are parts of your body that you can't really feel very well, you can't move very well? See if you can send some vibrations to those areas. Vibrate to every part of you. All right, slow it down. Slow it down, slow it down. And then slowly stop moving, stand still. Breathe and feel all that tingling though. Energy continue to buzz within you. And that vitality, that chi, energy flowing. Bend your knees, take a big step out to the side. And your hands rise up the middle like a wave. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sink down. That wave begins at your feet. And it ripples up. And ripples down. Feet, knees, hips. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Move at your own pace. Continue that wave. At first, your body might feel a little stiff or blocky, tight. Over time, it starts to smooth out, become fluid, comfortable. Wide, strong stance, stable, powerful legs. Light, spacious, open upper body, comfortable and free. The place that you want to feel the most pressure, the most power, is your core. See if you can find a power in your belly when you do this. Not just tensing your abdomen, but the way you tuck the pelvis a little, the way you sink in, draw that power here to the belly as best you can. Nice. Now out to the side. It's like you got big wings. Variation on soaring crane. And the body starts to move in this kind of ripple effect. Body moves in a wave. One part just rolls into the next. Every part of you is included. Every cell is important within you. Now scoop the hands up the center like you're holding a ball. Lifting overhead. Buddha holds up the earth and sink back down. Scooping up. Feel the breath get all the way to the top of the lungs and back down again. Now carry the ball to one side. Move the ball over your head, watching it as it flows over and down in your side. Gazing at the moon. Watching this moon rising up. Full moon, watching it go across the sky and down. Move the other direction. Same thing. Reverse. Yeah. Just the moon flow overhead, sink down. And just like the moon, you're able to see it when it's up in the sky. And of course, once it goes below the horizon, it disappears. But it doesn't really disappear. So in Qigong, we recognize the invisible forces, things that exist that we cannot see. Our perspective as human is so limited. Our senses are so limited. There's so much beyond what we can see, smell, taste, touch, and hear. So through Qigong, we tap into and we recognize, utilize the invisible forces, the intangible forces too. Now your hands sweep across the body, one above, one below. And just like the moon goes up and then goes down, your top hand is the yang, your bottom hand is the yin. The visible and the invisible keep changing place, keep exchanging. A lot of the benefits, the energy you're creating here, you may not be able to recognize it at first. You don't see the effect right away, but know that you're creating a healing energy. You're bathing your body in this very beneficial flow of energy right now. It's having a very positive effect on your health and your systems. Beautiful. Now step forward with your left leg and your hands flow forward and they come back and they brush by your belly close to you, around the hip, out, front, toward the front knee, bring it in, circle. It's called grinding tofu. Imagine I don't know how they grind tofu, but imagine it's like this. You're taking the soybeans, running something over them and crushing them up. This is an exercise for the spleen and stomach. So in Qigong and the shared roots with traditional Chinese medicine, movements in our health are very closely connected in that we can positively influence our health with particular movements. So this is supposed to help the spleen and the stomach, the digestion, the assimilation of nutrients. this ability to process. Those raw soybeans get fermented and processed and transformed into easy to digest tofu. Now switch your feet, step the other foot into a lunge. Glide the hands, rotate. So through Qigong, we create a kind of a moving meditation. When that meditative state occurs, when you find that sense of presence, sense of sensation in your hands and body, balances a whole host of your autonomic responses. Parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response kicks in. It unlocks these cascades of neurochemicals, natural painkillers. Take your feet to horse riding. And now both hands spread out and rise up. If your legs are getting really tired, you can do this seated, of course. Same thing, just do a little lean, rock. Don't overload your legs. Pebble in the pond, sink the hips, spread the arms. Like ripples spreading out. Warmth collect in the core and coolness in your head. All right, hands to your low belly, feet to a comfortable distance, rubbing clockwise, up the right, down the left. Massage your internal organs. I had a teacher say, we just gave half of the attention that we give to our hair, skin, and nails to our internal organs, we'd be a lot healthier, right? We give a lot of attention to the outside of our body, to the, frankly, the cells that aren't even alive, the hair cells, the fingernail cells, the skin cells. It's easy to forget about these vital organs here that give a little bit more love and attention to. So, easy way to do it is hands-on massage. Just press and rotate clockwise. This is the direction your large intestine runs, up the right, across the middle, down the left. Let your hands rest in the low belly, and it's called bellows breath. Sink in the knees, or sit, and breathe. Puff the belly out, and then draw back. Inhale, expand. Like a bellow feeding a fire. Draw that breath down and create a nice fire, a nice heat in your belly. This is another one of our goals in Qigong, is to create a warm belly and a cool head. You can kind of visualize fire burning in the belly. Nice hearth crackling. Just the warmth of your hands, the attention you're giving it. Start to bring the heat. Right, once again, wrap. I want to give you a special exercise. It's called a Qigong, and this is a movement that's a little bit hard to coordinate. It's a little tricky, but even just the challenge of trying it is worthwhile. So if you are from Hawaii, you have a distinct advantage. I'll show you why in a minute. You will stand comfortably. Feet can be a little wide and the toes can be out a little. And you sink down and you draw a circle with your tailbone. You can see why, if you've ever done the hula, you're gonna have a hand up in this one, or a hip up, I guess. So this area of the body is notoriously stiff, tight, and hard to control, hard to feel. So it might feel like you're working with a cement block right now. So don't worry if it feels clunky and awkward. Little by little, you're going to allow the pelvic bowl to rotate without the whole body moving. Sometimes I see people doing the whole waist. It's not that. Your hips stay very secure, and they're just revolving around. Now switch directions. So another analogy for this one is if you've ever heard of mochi. Mochi is a processed rice product that they used to make by taking rice and pounding it with hammers for hours and hours and days and days. And there would be people making mochi, and they would take the rice and put water on it, and somebody would smash it, and they'd roll it, put water on, smash it. Now machines do it, obviously, but when you do that enough, it turns the rice into this sticky, stretchy substance. Totally different, like, structure and makeup. All right, if you haven't already switched directions, we're gonna do 2 times each way. So lost track where we are there. So rotate either way, and we'll do both. So the analogy to this, they say the Qigong, you've heard Qigong. Qi is energy, Gong is cultivation, cultivating Qi. So the Qigong is this kind of next step of taking the raw Qi, like taking the raw rice, and cultivating it into they call it Dan, D-A-H-N. Go ahead and switch directions again. So all this sounds very woo-woo and metaphysical, and maybe it is, but over time you can actually feel a change in the quality of energy in your core. A little more warmth and a little bit more power here. So the idea is that you're cultivating this kind of raw energy, and you're turning it into something a little bit more substantial, or more easy to assimilate or digest or utilize. And if all you feel is just a lot of heat or fatigue, that's okay too. That's still a good benefit. Stand up and just press the hands to the belly. Let's breathe, give some relief to your hips. Just getting more mobility here, more strength here. That's plenty benefit. That's still worth doing it for that. All right, nicely done. Let's have a seat and take a load off. Use your hands to massage around your knees. We did a lot of standing here today. Knees and hips and lower back too. Lower back and it's going to get tight. I'm going to do a seated meditation with you today. So rub your hands together now, make them nice and warm. And rub between the fingers. I get a lot of warmth in your hands. If your hands feel cold, just rub faster. Any amount of warmth is going to help. Rub the backs of your hands. Got blood flowing. More blood, the more sensation. More sensation, the more presence. You feel like your mind is just always wandering. Do this practice. Bring it right back. And then shake them. Shake that blood flow. Just like Loosen centrifugal force. Bring the blood to the fingertips. Relax the shoulders. We want to have no kinks, no tension along the arms here for this to work well. And then cupping like two light bulbs. Twist, 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 twist. Faster, faster. There's a point where it starts to feel like it's swelling up, like balloons filling with helium. And then stop, pull, and push. See if you can feel a little something there. Relaxed focus. A little bit of body heat, a little of that magnetic ripple as you glide the hands past. Play around with it and test it out for yourself. Stretch it and move it, explore the sensation of energy in your hands. What you feel is only a fraction of what is alive in you, what's happening right now. Let your mind expand to embrace all the invisible forces that happen when you bring your loving attention to yourself. When you bring this loving attention to yourself, subtle energy can flow through you, touch you very deeply. Hold that energy ball and fill it with your loving attention. Imagine a brilliant color, a vibrancy. Feel the crown of your head open up like a skylight. Imagine a stream of energy flowing down through the crown. Imagine a stream opening at the bottom of each foot, like roots drawing up from the earth. Feel the pelvic floor open. Your whole body becomes permeable, receptive. Now carry this energy ball filled with this love and light and invite it towards your body. Invite it to be received, to be absorbed anywhere you want. Just let the hands move instinctually. Wherever they're drawn, let the hands turn and offer. Let your body receive 3 deep breaths. Absorb this energy in. Picture it flowing to your cells, to the tissue. Providing the resources to your body. And absorb that in and brush and sweep and use your warm hands. If they cooled off, you can rub them again. Warm hands and massage your face and sweep your hair, your eyes, your neck, shoulders, your arms. Imagine like a lotion rubbing into your skin, all through your body. Send your loving attention to your whole body, anywhere you can reach. Massage and sweep. All right. Good. Thank you so much for joining me today.